Barış Arduç and Elçin Sangu back together? Fans think so. A single Instagram story. 17 seconds long. No caption. Just two coffee cups on a wooden table in Istanbul. Fans recognize the cafe immediately. The same one where Barış Arduç and Elçin Sangu filmed one of the most iconic scenes from their hit series. Within hours, over 3 million people had screenshotted it, analyzed it, and asked the same question. Were they together? And if so, what does this mean for the relationship everyone thought ended years ago? This isn't just about two actors. This is about something much deeper. Something that has kept millions of people emotionally invested for nearly a decade. Because when Barış and Elçin first appeared on screen together, they didn't just create chemistry. They created a phenomenon. A connection so powerful that even after the cameras stopped rolling, even after they both moved on with their lives, fans refused to let go. And now, in 2025, strange things are happening. Coincidences that feel too deliberate. Moments that seem planned. And a silence from both of them that says more than any statement ever could. To understand why this matters, you need to go back to 2016. Turkey was obsessed with a new series called Kiralık Aşk. The show itself was simple. A fake relationship that becomes real. But what happened off-screen was anything but simple. Barış and Elçin had worked together before, but this time something shifted. Interviews became uncomfortable to watch. Not because they were awkward, but because they were too comfortable. The way he looked at her during press events. The way she laughed at things he said that weren't even funny. Body language experts had a field day. Fans created entire accounts dedicated to analyzing every gesture, every glance, every accidental touch. The show ended in 2017, but the obsession didn't. If anything, it grew. Both actors repeatedly denied any romantic involvement. Barış called Elçin his best friend. She said the same. But their denials only fueled speculation. Because here's what people noticed. They kept showing up in the same places. Not at industry events where it would make sense, but at private dinners. Art galleries. Charity functions where no cameras were officially present. And every single time, they were photographed looking like more than friends. Then in 2018, everything went quiet. Too quiet. Barış started dating someone else. Elçin was spotted with a businessman. Fans were devastated, but most accepted it. They had to. The dream was over. Except it wasn't. Because even while they were in other relationships, strange things kept happening. Barış would post a photo from a specific location. 3 days later, Elçin would post from the exact same spot. Same angle. Same time of day. Coincidence? Maybe. But it happened 7 times in 1 year. 2019 brought something even stranger. Both of them became unusually private. Barış, who had been relatively open about his relationship, suddenly stopped posting anything personal. Elçin did the same. Their social media became exclusively professional. Work projects. Brand partnerships. Nothing else. And here's where it gets interesting. Fans started noticing they were both wearing identical bracelets. Not similar. Identical. A thin silver chain with a small charm. When asked about it in separate interviews months apart, they both gave the same answer. A gift from a friend. They didn't say which friend. Fast forward to 2020. The pandemic changed everything for everyone, but for Barış and Elçin, it created an opportunity. An opportunity for privacy. No paparazzi. No public events. No one watching. And during those months of lockdown, something happened. Mutual friends started acting differently in interviews. When asked about either actor, they would smile in a knowing way. One friend, during a live stream, accidentally said when referring to Barış before catching himself and changing the subject. The clip went viral. He never addressed it. When the world reopened, both of them had changed. Barış ended his relationship. Elçin was suddenly single too. The timing was suspicious enough, but what happened next made it impossible to ignore. They started liking each other's posts again. Not every post. Just specific ones. Photos from travels. Pictures with meaningful captions about trust and timing. And fans noticed a pattern. Every time one of them posted something emotional, the other would like it within minutes. Not hours. Minutes. As if they were watching. Waiting. 2021 brought the first real slip. A journalist interviewed Barış for a magazine cover story. Deep into the conversation, talking about what he values in life, he said something unexpected. He talked about finding someone who understands the industry without being consumed by it. Someone who knows the pressure without adding to it. Someone who makes normal life feel possible. The journalist asked if he was seeing anyone. He smiled and said, "I'm happy. Not yes. Not no. Just, I'm happy." The article came out and fans lost their minds. Because 2 weeks earlier, Elçin had used almost the exact same words in a different interview. Then came the families. This is where it gets really complicated. In Turkish culture, families matter. A lot. And both Barış and Elçin come from tight-knit families who usually stay out of the spotlight. But in 2022, something changed. Barış's sister posted a birthday message for Elçin. Not a public post, but a story. Fans screenshotted it before it disappeared. The message was too familiar. Too warm. It wasn't the kind of thing you write to your brother's former co-star. It was what you write to someone who's actually in your life. 6 months later, Elçin's mother was photographed at a restaurant in Ankara. Sitting across from her was Barış's mother. Just the two of them. Having lunch. No actors present. No obvious reason for them to be meeting. When asked about it later, both families declined to comment. That silence said everything. Because if it was innocent, if it was just a friendly lunch, why not just say so? 2023 is when the coffee photo appeared. The one that started all of this. But that wasn't the only one. Over the following months, fans became digital detectives. They tracked metadata on photos, analyzed reflections in windows, compared backgrounds in stories. And they found something remarkable. At least 11 times in 8 months, Barış and Elçin posted content that placed them in the same city on the same day. Sometimes the same neighborhood. Once, possibly the same room, based on the distinctive tile pattern visible in both their photos. Neither of them addressed it. Their managers said nothing. Publicists gave no statements. And that silence became its own form of communication. Because in an industry where every rumor gets denied, every speculation gets shut down, their complete lack of response felt intentional. It felt like a choice. Then came the wedding. A mutual friend got married in the summer of 2023. Both Barış and Elçin were invited. Fans waited desperately for photos. When they finally emerged, they were perfect. Too perfect. Every single photo showed them at opposite ends of every frame. Never together. Never even looking in the same direction. It was so deliberate it was obvious. One guest later said in an interview that they spent most of the night talking in the garden. Away from cameras. Away from everyone. But there's no proof. Just words. 2024 brought a new project for Barış. A major film with international distribution. During the press tour, he was asked about working with Elçin again. He paused for a long time. Long enough that the interviewer started to ask another question. Then he said, "Some things are worth waiting for." The interviewer laughed, thinking he meant the project. But fans knew better. The phrasing was too specific. Too loaded. Meanwhile, Elçin started a new series. Different network. Different genre. Completely different from anything she'd done before. In interviews, she talked about taking risks. About choosing projects that scare her. About trusting her instincts even when the safe choice is obvious. One interviewer asked if that philosophy applied to her personal life too. She smiled and said, "Especially to my personal life." Then she changed the subject. The bracelet appeared again. Both of them. Same wrist. Same silver chain. But this time, fans noticed something new. The charm had changed. It wasn't the same one from before. It was different. Smaller. More delicate. And when enhanced photos surfaced online, people swore they could see an engraving. 2 letters. B and E. Neither actor confirmed or denied it. Then in December of 2024, something unprecedented happened. A fan encountered them at an airport. Not in Istanbul. In Paris. Together. The fan was too shocked to take a photo, but she posted about it immediately. Described what they were wearing. Said they were walking close together.